Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to the first ever Genda Connections event. I am so glad to see all of you here, and thank you for coming by. Just to keep it very briefly, let me just first ask you a question, okay? And if I were to ask you to take away your job title, whatever you do, either you're a housewife or a receptionist, accountant, CEO, whatever your job title, put it aside for a little while. And then, if I were to ask you to define yourself, what would you tell me? Define yourself without telling me what your job title is. I've been curating Genda Connections Suva, which is trying to find the speakers, trying to find the platform, for the past 5 months. And I've been going out and speaking to so many people that I would never in my past life ever do, because it's just, there was no need. And going to meet so many people, and people are doing amazing things who are beyond me, this is one question I've asked. And I'm kind of amazed or surprised that 85% of people in Fiji, and this is not being patronizing or anything, but everyone sort of stumbled when I asked this question. They were like, okay. And to me, I would like to ask you this question. When did we become, as persons, the jobs we are doing? At what time, at what point in life are we defining ourselves by our business cards, our CV, our resume? And it's kind of, I know we're at a very fast-pacing world. We know we've got Facebook. We're able to do things that we were not able to do 10 years ago. But I think somehow we've lost this connection to ourselves, And then I'd like to bring in this other one word, and it's called happiness. And in Fiji, happiness is sort of like a wishy-washy term, Like it comes in Huffington Post, in Medium.com articles. We see it, we like it, we try to read it, and we're trying to, find maybe ourselves in there. We sometimes relate. But I think as Fijian people, whatever our racial background is, we're slightly different. We're not, we're not the Western world. Yet, and this concept of happiness for us is, for definitely when I was growing up, was kind of foreign. Because I wasn't raised to, pursue happiness in my life. I was raised to work hard, study hard, get a good job, all that. And God forbid you're an Indo-Fijian woman, because then your entire orientation has to be about your husband, right? How you sit, how you eat, what will your husband's family say? That's how the perception was. It was never better, or you're supposed to be happy. And this is nothing against my upbringing. It's just our country, our thought. And this is not our people, our parents, or our elders' problem. It's because how we've become. If you think about it, we're not too far away from the colonial times. We as people, we've always had this in our mind that hard work and just trying to rise above and beyond for our children. And somewhere along the line, we've sort of stopped telling our children, stopped telling our people that the purpose of life is to then maybe be happy, because happiness for me was a reward. You study hard, get good grades, then you're happy. You're working towards happiness. No one sort of ever came to us and say, happiness. So when we listen to these foreign people going, I'm finding myself, this is inner peace, we're going, oh yeah, whatever bullshit, But that's how we have been programmed as people. And so when we don't, work towards our happiness, and we work towards all these money and success, and which are important, I think then to define yourself is very difficult, because then you don't know what is making you happy, and in order to where you stand, what your content is, where you are content, and then, that's what defines you. I find something very, very funny is this Fiji Me ads. Have you seen them? They're really nice beach ads, and they say, Fiji, where happiness finds you. And, you've seen those ads. It's lovely. And so here's the irony, right? If Fiji is where happiness is, and the entire globe thinks, we'll buy a ticket and go to Fiji and we'll find our happiness there, why is it that every second other person I know in Fiji wants a visa to get out? They want to go New Zealand, Australia, USA, Just visa lagi, we have to go, you know? Everyone wants to go. And so the thing is, if happiness is ultimate purpose of life, why are we running away? Why are we just this not here? So, and this today brings me to the Genda Project. A couple of years ago, my entire life was my work. You know, one day I got up and I was like, if I took away my job title, I haven't invested in a life. You know, my father doesn't know this, but he's actually been an inspiration. Because he tells all these stories. In 1972, I was working for this guy. In 1977, I bought the first ticket, put myself on the plane, and I went somewhere. You know, from someone like this, you know, he's always got these stories. And I always listen to him, and I'm like, man, this old man has these stories. I don't have nothing. I just went to school, went to university, got a job, and I'm here. Where are my stories? And I've spent the last 3 years doing everything I can to make my stories. And this is what I've not learned, but this is what I've felt. And I feel that we need to talk about this more. So the Genda Project is creating spaces where we can come together and maybe define ourselves. And not maybe define ourselves, but challenge how we define ourselves. Maybe you're quite content in where you are. And that's how the power of stories, and that's how Genda Connections is here. One of the speakers today is Monica Few. And first I did a Skype chat to her, and this is one of the questions I said, Monica, if I took away, you know, your job title, and could you define yourself? Not a split second, and she just said, Sharon, if I were to define myself, I'd just say I'm daughter of Frituma. She said, I am daughter of Frituma, and at that very moment, I knew I had found my person. Because for someone to be so content in their country, in what they do, in their lives, then aligns them to where they're going and being happy. And I think if you listen to Monica, you'll understand what I'm trying to say in a contextual point of view. So today, thank you very much for coming to Genda Connections. I've gone out and found 8 very brave people who've put their hands up to speak an event that no one's ever heard of. Today you'll be hearing 2 of the speakers who have been rediscovering their identity, who are, you know, challenging themselves. You'll listen to a speaker who's going to talk about their early lives, and you're going to listen to how different people approach life in Fiji as opposed to waking up and going to work and coming back home again. So thank you. People always say, you know, so what is the purpose behind Genda Project? Is it community-based? Are you trying to make money? Is it like a hidden agenda? And all I got to do is, our tagline is very, very simple. The Genda Project is not about the community. It's not about the country. It's not about changing a mindset. It's not even about a revolution. It's about you. The fact that you're sitting here today, either you've come to support me or your speakers, or you've just decided to come for a speak, the fact is you are here, and it is for you. Welcome to the Genda Project. I hope you challenge yourselves, challenge your thinking, and I do hope we have our meeting. Do step up, go meet somebody. We have a dream avatar there. Do not stand with your friends. Take the initiative, go and talk to someone you've never talked about. Just talk to them about what their dream avatar is. You might learn something. So thank you for coming. Thank you for venturing out. I hope you'll discover lots of new things here. Thank you for connecting, and when you connect, hopefully you connect to other people and ultimately to yourself. So once again, thank you and welcome to Genda Connections. Thank you.